In this video, we will go through a GOATA pivot point progression, starting with the groundwork, working our way up to the feet and back down to the ground, maybe a couple times. We'll start, as always, in the child rocker position, toes together, heels away, pressing the tops of the feet down into the ground. Find a neutral position for the pelvis and the shoulders. Point your elbow pits forward. Memorize these positions, especially for the pelvis and the shoulders. You want to return to them throughout the flow and rock forward and back. We'll move into a bow hip stretch on the right side. Lift your left leg, slide your right foot over, left leg behind the right leg. Breathe into the stretch on the right hip. 10 more seconds. And switch sides. Right leg behind the left leg, hands staggered towards the left, chest up, eyes forward. Neutral pelvis, elbow pits point forward. It's a lot to remember, just focus on one thing at a time. Once that thing becomes natural, then add in something else. 5 more seconds. Switch back to the right side and rock forward and back. You can keep that back foot elevated or place it down on the ground if you need a little extra support. You may also choose to do any of these ground exercises on your forearms or your elbows. If you find your wrists are bothered, be here for 3 more seconds. And switch sides. Just rock back till you feel a stretch in the hip. Use those stretch muscles to propel you forward. And over time, you'll be expanding that range of motion. We'll be here for 5 more seconds. And step up with the right leg to a half kneeling lunge. Tuck your tail under, press forward till you feel a stretch in the front of your left hip. Send the breath down into the belly. Use the breath to stretch the muscles of the area. Extend your exhales. 3 more seconds. We'll switch sides. Tuck the tail under. Press forward till you feel a stretch in the right hip. Breathe in and out through the nose. Slowing down the exhale relaxes the nervous system, which relaxes the muscles once you get a little bit deeper. 3 more seconds. And switch back to the other side. This time, pressing forward into that stretch, using the stretched muscles, the hip flexors to pull you back, squeezing the glute to push you forward, rock forward and back, using the muscles of the left hip to drive the motion. Right leg is there as a kickstand. 5 more seconds. And switch sides. And continue to rock forward and back, using the muscles of the hip. Be here for 10 more seconds. We'll come back to child rockers. Lift your hands and rock up and down Maintain a neutral pelvis, chest up, neutral shoulders, loading the hips and the posterior chain of the body. You mostly feel it in the hips and the lower back. The further you lean, the greater the load will be. If it's too much, sit up a little bit straighter or kneel up a little bit straighter. We'll go side to side. So turn your chest from one knee to the other. So from the waist up, it might look like you're running for 3 more seconds. And tuck the toes. Begin to stretch the bottoms of the feet. You can lift your knees up off the mat if that's available to you. So we begin to prepare the feet to move up into the standing. For 10 more seconds. You can also create that isometric tension by pressing the ground apart, pulling it all together. But we're going to push back onto the feet into our squat to hinge. Again, find that neutral pelvis. Think about getting nice and tall from the waist up. 5 more seconds. We'll come over into the access hinge or forward fold. You can alternate straightening and having a slight bend in either knee. For 5 more seconds. And we'll work from the forward fold all the way up to standing. Use the muscles of the hamstrings and the glutes to bring you all the way up. Working down to that stretch position, up with control to standing. Bend the knees. We'll come into our quarter squat. Both legs are bowed to the outside. Knees are spiraling out. We'll be here for 5 more seconds. And take a step back to a drop in on the right side. Step back with the left foot if you didn't figure that out already. Heels up off the ground, weight in the balls of your feet. Really focus on keeping the ball of that big toe grounded into the floor. 3 more seconds. And switch sides. Ten more seconds here. And work down into that half kneeling lunge. Rock forward and back. And switch sides. These can be done with the toes tucked or pressing the top of the foot flat into the ground. We'll move into the bow hip stretch on the right side. You can stay and stretch or rock forward and back. You also have the option to change the amount of abduction or adduction, or also add internal and external rotation. These are all options, none of them are necessary. They're there though. And switch sides. I like to switch it up from time to time just to see what my hips feel like they need. We'll be here for 2 more seconds. We'll come into the child rockers. This time get the shoulders a little more involved. Press your hands forward to push you back and pull yourself forward with the hands. You should feel the shoulders really getting nice and active. We'll be here for 3 more seconds. I'm going to lift the hands up off the mat. And you can stay here in the good morning. Take little shoulder circles, going backwards or forwards. Rock side to side, turning your chest from knee to knee. With any of the static postures, if you're up for it, you can add shoulder work to, like I said, any of them. We'll be here for 5 more seconds, rocking side to side. We'll come back to center, hands back on the mat. And take some child rockers forward and back, tuck the toes. We'll just push back to our access squat, our bolt squat. I'm pretty sure they're both the same thing. Try to keep the chest up, feel the lower back open up. Maybe a stretch on the back of the ankles. It's another good resting position. If you get fatigued during the flows, send your hips back and up with the weight on the balls of your feet. We'll come into squat to hinge. Pause at about a quarter or half squat. Challenge yourself a little bit deeper. You can add shoulder work or also hold on to a weight if this isn't challenging enough. And send your hips back to an isometric hinge. So here we're loading the hamstrings in the lower back towards their end range of motion. We'll come back to squat to hinge. Take a step back or forward, so you're going to drop in on the right side. Rock a little bit up and down, challenge your range of motion. Try to get stronger, deeper into the lunge, and switch sides. You may find over time Your body naturally starts to spiral. As you come down into the lunge, the chest points towards the knee points further out. We'll be here for 5 more seconds. And switch back to the right side. This time we'll add some taps. Tapping the back of the right ankle with control. Now to the side and back. And to the front and back. The left leg is a kickstand until now when we switch sides. Starting tapping the back of the ankle, loading the left leg, right leg is a kickstand, and to the outside, and to the front for 5 more seconds. And squat to hinge. You may choose to rest in your access squat or access hinge, or also take a little bit of weight out of your back by putting your hands on your knees. We'll be here for 10 more seconds. And work the rest of the way back down to the mat. Child rockers. You can tuck the toes or press the tops of the feet down into the mat with your toes together, heels apart. Elbow pits point forward. Shoulders and pelvis in a neutral position. Create some tension by either pulling the ground together underneath you or spreading it apart. 3 more seconds. We'll come into a bow hip stretch on the right side. You can stay in the stretch or rock forward and back or any other variation. 5 more seconds. And switch sides. Three more seconds. Switch sides. We'll crawl up and back. You can keep your left leg low. You can also bring your left knee to your left elbow and challenge the range of motion of that hip. 3 more seconds and switch sides. Again, crawling up and back, opposite hand, opposite leg. You also have the option to bring your right knee to your right elbow. And we'll go side to side, switching your hip stretch in between each rep. For 5 more seconds. And step up with one leg and rock forward and back. So we begin to wind it down, switch sides. We'll finish in child rocker. Take as much time as you like with child rockers. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your energy.